My first guest tonight is Judge SGray of the Criminal Court Division 1 of the Metro System. Judge Gray is a native Nashvilleian, graduating from Pearl High School and Florida A&M University. Judge Gray studied at the YMCA Law School and other institutions, including the Harvard Law School. Since 1982, he has been the criminal court judge for Division 1. Judge, in terms of some of the things that we've talked about, I think one of the things that we'd like to explore today is the problem of the overcrowded facilities that we have in this country. I think I mentioned the fact that approximately 50% of the incarcerated population in this country is black. And of course, in addition to that, we've got a problem in terms of overcrowdedness. Could you perhaps speak to that, please?
Certainly. There is a problem. I don't think that it's unique to Nashville and Davidson County, but all over the country, as you stated, of overcrowdedness. It has an effect on the entire system because of several reasons. First of all, in July of 1982, the legislature went to what is called the Judge Sentencing Act. It more or less gave the judges the authority and power to sentence individuals after they had been convicted by a jury. Heretofore, the jury would not only determine whether or not a person was guilty or not guilty, but would also sentence that individual in conformance with the statutes as they would present it to them. However, Tennessee basically was about number 47, the 47th state to go to the Judge Sentencing Act, and the result of that was has had a devastating effect to some extent. First of all, it is good because of the fact that a judge that sentenced an individual will have an opportunity to know more about that individual and can apply a sentence to that individual more appropriately than can a jury that has no knowledge about an individual's background or where he comes from or anything like that. But some of the implications regarding that is that I think that you would find that since that time there have been more people going to the penitentiary to some extent, and as a result of just a population growth, growth of crime period, the facilities have not grown with the number of individuals being sentenced to those institutions. So what happened is this. In the latter part of last year, early part of this year, the federal judge here in Nashville ordered that no more inmates be taken to the Tennessee State Penitentiary because they had no facilities to house those individuals. The result of which was that the individuals that would normally be going to the penitentiaries were sent to the local jails. Well, of course, it basically is a state problem and not a local problem, but the effect of that order made it a local problem also all over the state of Tennessee. It also made it a problem as far as the judges are concerned, inasmuch as on some occasions when you would be inclined to incarcerate, say, a borderline individual for a short period of time, you would not be allowed, you couldn't do that if you take in consideration that you might have a person that is has a bad record, more of a bad record, and you would try to, in your mind, make room for that person that needed to go more. You'd have a choice, make a decision between that. One, that the person has such a bad record, he needs definitely be incarcerated. As the other individual would be a situation where you would not incarcerate him because you're trying to make room, so to speak, for that other individual. And I think the local sheriffs and authorities have really had a problem in that this aspect, another aspect of it is that what you try to do in terms of classifying persons convicted of crimes is to put individuals that have committed similar crimes together, or in terms of their record and things of that nature. Not putting a first-time offender in with a lifer or something of that nature. As it affects the local jail situation, they don't have the facilities in order to do that. So in a lot of the situations, you'd have people thrown in with each other that really shouldn't be there.
Judge, let me interrupt here. And I think one of the problems that we face is the fact that we're dealing with a tremendous drug problem that has implications in terms of helping to fill our institutions.
Sure.
And perhaps you would like to speak to that problem in terms of some of the real problems that
well,
we have.
If what they tell me is correct, and the information that I bring to you is from what I gather from talking to individuals that I sentence, if what they tell me is correct, I would say that yes, drugs are involved in anywhere from 75 to 8% of the crimes committed. And what we try to do once that we realize that is to try to get them in some type of rehabilitative program, none of which, as far as I am able to discern, is adequate in terms of the type of counseling that they need. However, we do the best we can with what we have. But just based upon what persons that come before me tell me about their involvement with drugs, it does have a devastating effect on society. It not only affects that individual, but it affects the entire community. Because where you have a person that is involved in drugs, you're going to have, in most instances, a person that is stealing to take care of that habit. And it is not, for example, cocaine. It is not a drug that's identifiable with any socioeconomic class. People that are poor deal with cocaine or are hooked on cocaine. People that are middle class and the upper class. Example, on last week I tried a case involving a man that was the vice president of an international union, labor union, and his salary is somewhere around $50,000 a year. So what I'm talking about is that it doesn't affect any one class of people. It affects not everyone. People in the community, person breaks in your house, it's going to affect your insurance, the insurance rates of everybody. So it is a problem that is not unique to a particular class, but it affects the entire community.
Thank you, Judge, and I wish that we had more time, Judge, so that we might talk about some of the other things that we would like to talk about. But I'd like to thank you for coming by and at least giving us that information relative to some of the problems that we're having in our criminal court system today.
Glad to do so.
Thank you. And now let us take a break for our commercial.